This is the Education Business Podcast for consultants and business owners providing services in schools. I'm Claire Riley, and I'll be sharing how to start, grow and scale your education business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Education Business Podcast. So I have been chairman at Classroom Secrets now for just over a year, and recently I have taken on a second role at Classroom Secrets as well, which is Head of Growth. That is only for an interim period. But I thought it would be great to share with you 12 lessons from the 12 months that I have been chairman. Now, some of these lessons, in fact, most of these lessons are not new lessons. But I always think business is like this spiral where you're going up or you're going down, whichever way you want to look at it, where you're revisiting the same things, but on a deeper level or in a different way. And so these are the things that have cropped up again that I thought would be worth sharing with you. And hopefully you can learn from my insights and experiences. So lesson number 1 is that we always need to deal with problems faster. We're never dealing with the problems fast enough. Now we want to make sure obviously that we take a measured approach, that we don't dive in 2 feet first and end up making 5 after adding 2 and 2. But problems can drag on when we let them. And from a board perspective, you'll see that same issue month after month after month, and it's really obvious that things need dealing with. So that's the first lesson, deal with problems faster. Second lesson, focus on unlocking potential and capacity. Sometimes you have to get into the detail of what's really happening, what's really going on, to find out what capacity really is and what potential really is. And then you can scale back out. I think for me, the chairman role in a company of our size, and also being a fairly new role at Classroom Secrets, as well as being the founder, has required me to zoom in and zoom out and zoom in and zoom out, and be able to do that effortlessly to help people understand that while I might have the role of chairman, that I'm still a human being, somebody who really wants the best for the company. And so I have really focused on unlocking things in the company as chairman. And not only has that really improved morale and teamwork, but it started showing results as well. So ask yourself the right question. No matter what you call yourself in your company as the entrepreneur, where is the potential that needs unlocking? How do you unlock people's capacity? What is it that they need to do differently? The third lesson is that you need to be connected more than ever to your vision and your mission and your plan for the future. And that's how you take people with you. That's how you get them to go where you're going. When you are super connected to them and you spend time thinking about it and it comes up into your mind and it's everywhere and you're really clear on where you're going and why you're going there. And if you need more help on getting clear on your vision and mission, I've got a full training session on this in Education Business Club. You'll find the link in the show notes. The session is really in depth. And if you do the training and then do the homework at the end of a 2-week period, you'll have a vision and mission that you're really proud of and something that you feel really works for your company. Lesson number 4, work with a strategic coach. I stepped into the chairman role. We made some changes. We started moving forward. The moment we started working with a strategic coach, things ramped up. And I remember saying at one of the board meetings, listen, we could execute these plans without a coach and we might be so far ahead in 2 years' time. Or we could work with this coach and in 2 years' time, we'll have made so much progress. And it's true. It's so true. Because you're getting accountability, you are getting experience and mentorship, you're getting validation, which maybe you shouldn't need, but we all do. And you're being asked really powerful questions to help you take everyone forward towards your vision and mission. The 5th lesson is to get really clear on what you want to track and how you're going to track it. Often we're not tracking some things that we should and are missing. Sometimes we track things and the data doesn't really show the picture it should. Sometimes we're not using data that we're collecting. So take some time to get really clear on the data that you do want to see and have a reinvention of that. Lesson 6 is Use the right software to keep top of mind what needs to be top of mind. It's not necessarily about you as the founder of the business. It can also be for all team members. So have you got the right software in place so everyone knows what they're doing and when they're doing it? So a really good example of this at board is we started the board meetings with a Word document writing the minutes. And within 3 sessions, I'd had Ed build us an app on Zoho Creator so that we could easily track items and bring them back to the forefront. And this app has evolved over time. We've all had suggestions to make of different things that it could do. It didn't start with being able to do an agenda, now it can. And so think about what you actually need to be the most effective you can be, and then try and find somebody who will be able to do that if that's not you. Lesson 7 is to create a calendar of events for your business, or if you've got a board topics, things that you need to keep track of. So it might be things like making sure you've got an annual price increase, annual salary reviews, things that board needs to keep a track of, or you as the founder need to keep a track of. It might include things like your annual accounts, key points in the year for your education business. But don't rely on your brain to remember all of these things. Have a calendar that you amend every single year where everyone can see what needs to be factored into the working month as well as everything else that's going on, all the new things. You have to be able to keep the ball rolling in a professional manner. The 8th lesson is to say no to lots. Say no to pretty much everything. Not from a mean perspective, but always linking it back to the plan. So we can all have great ideas, but the answer is no unless it's linked to the plan, or it will enhance the plan, or it makes sense to add that to the plan. Get better at kindly being firm about what we will and won't do as a company. Lesson number 9, be acutely aware of what you need to achieve your goals and whether you have that currently or not. That might be finances, it might be team, it might be capability, it might be partnerships. Keep that top of mind, keep thinking about that and figuring out how you're going to make sure that it is in your control, in your hands. Lesson number 10, things feel so much easier when everyone has the capability to get stuff done that need to be done, the right team members are working together effectively, and there's an emphasis on anti-drama. Strive for those 3 things. Strive to make your life easier. Lesson number 11, work with the seasons of your business. I talk about seasonality in the educational academic year, but this is also seasons of your business when it needs you and when it doesn't, depending on what's happening. Classroom Secrets needs me more right now. Don't starve the business of your time if the business needs it. Make sure you can support the business in the way that it needs, even if it wasn't the way you planned it would be. Because this is about long-term success, not about short-term success. And lesson number 12, being chairman is not a fixed state. It's not politics. You can change your mind. You can get more involved. You can go backwards, as some people might say, and dive back into the business in areas that need your support. Being chairman is about overseeing the whole thing and making sure that you're getting the business to where it needs to go. And perhaps that means you have to fix some things with your area of expertise for a period of time to set the company up for the longer term growth that it's trying to achieve. Sometimes we can get all educational about it and think, well, I became the chairman, so I can't step in as head of growth now, because what does that look like? I'd have to be in the business more. It's a step backwards. But the reality is it's nothing to do with that. It's none of those things. It's about you being the founder of the business, doing what needs to be done to help everyone, help you achieve the ambitious goals that you've set. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, the lesson here is that the title chairman or CEO or whatever title you want to give yourself means nothing, and you shouldn't let that stop you doing what really needs to be done, or let anyone else talk you out of what really needs to be done because that makes them feel uncomfortable. if you're taking what they would deem as a step backwards. I really hope those 12 lessons have been helpful to you as you grow your own education business and transform it into a really valuable asset. I do encourage you to go back and listen to some of my previous episodes. There's a lot in the bag now, and you'll learn so much from them. So I'll either see you on one of those episodes, or alternatively, I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Education Business Podcast. To get more information to grow your business, sign up at educationbusinessclub.co.uk.